it's not that I don't think Channing Tatum would make a serviceable Gambit. I think he would. I think he would be fine. It's just that I unfortunately have to side with Andy on this one because Channing
Why?
Tatum to me is a comedic actor. He's a goofball. I don't want him wasting his time, wasting his efforts, and most importantly, wasting his good looks in an X-Men movie when he should be doing 23 Jump Street. What's up, everybody? Welcome. What's up?
That's not.
I can't argue with that.
You paused just long enough where I was like, "Are we talking now, or is he gonna go to the intro?" I want to give him his space, but do the intro and let's talk more about this shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KindaFunny podcast. I'm your host, Nick Scarpino. Alongside, it's almost Christmas in December, Joey Noel.
I have this weird curl sticking out of my hair, and it made me look like I had I don't like.
It's a cool look, Joe. It's unique.
It's pumping.
Yeah.
Put it back. The other day, Dee was doing her hair. She's like, "I got a bump in the back of my hair," and I was like, "What do we do about this?
And what do we
do about this?"
Right there, Nick, I would have done the quote that my boss would, well, not my boss, my coworker at my first studio would always tell me. He'd always go in this exact voice whenever I would bitch to him about anything random. And what do you want me to do about that? Because it's from The Shining. It's from The Shining. Is what Jack Nicholson tells whatever her face whenever she's mad about something. And what do you want me to do about that? And I always just think about that.
That voice, of course, you're hearing, ladies and gentlemen, is the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the globe-trotting, head-shotting nitro rifle from twitch.tv, Mr. Andy Cortez. Andy's running the ones and twos today. Round of applause for Andy, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And coming straight, honestly, Tim, I failed you. Because I've been trying to think of a funny thing to say about this bright yellow jacket you're wearing for the past 5 seconds, but I've been too busy talking and my brain can't do both things at once.
I get it.
Can we brainstorm this for a hot second, Andy? Do we feel like Tim just got off a lunar module? Like, how do we feel like maybe a NASCAR pit crew?
I really feel like he's on the red carpet for the Nickelodeon Teen Choice Award.
Not even like Teen Choice Awards.
Oh my God, dude. I would love that. That is the goal in my life.
Because it's like
they get invited.
Yeah, because Tim, they don't dress up fancy there. They just look cool. They look rockin' and hip on the red carpet, or on the orange carpet rather, the slime. Oh, green, whichever one.
Who knows what color it is?
A lot of them look like their moms just dropped them off there, and that's
kind of acceptable.
Hey, I'm totally down for that. Another thing, Nick, this is my Cyberpunk bomber jacket. It's reversible.
Does it? Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm wearing it because I spent an hour today organizing my Pokemon cards because that's part of my life now. And as you can see back there, a little bit, you got some of the boxes and you got a little Pikachu there. And I was like, you know what? I'm trying to look like my boy, the Chew.
The Chew. I thought you were trying to look like what's the main character's name in most of them? Ash. Yeah, he's got a white jacket though, right? White and red.
Some would argue it's Brock is the main character.
There's a lot of arguments to be made. But Pikachu is the main regardless.
Of course. Tim, don't feel bad about that, guy. I spent a solid 15 minutes today trying to figure out which nuts to buy in a Walgreens.
You and your damn nuts, Nick. Like, we need to talk about this because
what was the debate between?
Well, here's the thing. I'm just happy that Kevin's not here today for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is that we talked about nuts a little bit on the last podcast, and he just went off. And it was one of those times where Kev was not listening to anyone else talk. He was just talking himself about nuts.
It's when he asks the question and everyone answers the question, and then he doesn't hear the answer to the question because he's too busy thinking about the answer to the question. That's what it's a Kevin special.
But my favorite thing about it, and this was my tweet for the previous podcast, was a quote from him, which was macadamia. What a word. What a long word. And it's like,
long word.
That's a lot of word. That's what he said. That's a lot of word. And it's like, yes, it is a lot of word, but also why did you stutter saying macadamia? It's not
a lot of A's.
That long.
Okay, Kevin has a lot of problems.
I don't know that he ever got the word right either.
He did.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Kevin. I can't.
Here's the thing with Kevin.
I can't do the. Look, English was my second language. That's not an excuse anymore, Kevin. I'm sorry, dude. You are a scholar. You are gonna be a fucking marine biologist or whatever it is. A lot of it is just speech impediment, and that's fine. I have speech impediments. We all have our quirks with the way that we speak. A lot of times, Kevin, just like me, will forget words, or not like me, just horribly mispronounce them. And it's not really a thing of oh, he was speaking Spanish until he was 17 and he just started learning English. It's more of a like, no, I just don't know if Kevin ever chose to pronounce the word correctly.
I don't
or
think
chose
it's a
to correct
priority
himself.
for Kevin. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a priority. He
Having
has
said
a
that-
message he wants to get to, and how he gets there doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think I could disagree with either of you more for different reasons.
Oh, really?
Andy specifically because like I grew up with Kevin, so I know his family. I grew up with his family, and I know how complicated that whole thing was. And I know that like Kevin definitely was bilingual from the time he was like little. I mean, English was his second language up until he was like 5. And then after that, it just, you know, we are where we are now. But the other side of it with Joey is it's not that he ever knows what he's trying to say. Like, I don't believe that.
You're
like,
wrong.
I need
Yeah.
to put my foot down there. He has something in his head, something's coming out of his mouth. They don't always align. And I think this is where the frustration with Kevin really comes is in his mind, he is speaking English. There is still some Spanish in there. But what's really going on is he thinks that we heard what's in his head, but we haven't.
Yeah.
Oh.
No matter
think-
what it is.
My favorite thing that he does, and I'm guilty of this too, is he'll start talking and then he'll get surprised that he's the one talking, and then he'll get scared. And I think it's the fear that causes him, because you know what I mean? Because there's always that moment where you realize that other people are like, there's thousands potentially of people listening to you, and you're like, you almost start to feel like you're out on a wire, like that, like a tight rope walker. Like, see, I just did it right there. And then you get nervous, and then your brain starts stumbling because you're like, people are listening to me, and I'm meandering right now, and I didn't really have a point when I jumped out on this ledge, and now I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get off this ledge. So I sympathize with him on that one. Andy, I do want to say that it's a pleasure to have you back on the podcast. Your presence was sorely missed last week, and we had nothing but praise. We just sung your praise the entire episode of the podcast. So everyone should definitely check that out because we did a great topic last week on the podcast about what we would steal from Andy.
Now, I'm gonna be honest about it. It's Andy. I need to let you know you are running the show today because we're out of people running shows because we're low on people because snakes and all that stuff. You already know. But I can tell you, we talked no more or no less shit than we just did about Kevin, who's not on the show today, about you last week.
In that whole time,
You were a topic of conversation for 45 minutes.
huh?
I think it was a higher volume, but the equal amount of shit talk.
Of shit talking, yeah.
Got
So
it.
a lot of people, we did a podcast topic last week, which was given to us by the Patreon people over there. Hey, we love you very much. Thanks, guys, for filling out those forms. That was what hidden talent would you steal from other people? And of course, Andy. It turns out, I don't know why, but it turns out you're the only person that has talent at this company.
Worth
So we
stealing.
just decided to talk about the things we would take from you. And a lot of it was singing your praises of like, oh, it's so awesome that Andy has art skills. One of the things that I said, though, that I think you'll agree with, Andy, is that I don't want your art skills. Mostly because I don't want those late night slacks from Tim.
Oh, I mean,
know?
those don't really happen at all anymore. Which
I think you're lying to me. I think you're lying through your teeth.
No, they
right
don't.
now.
I mean, well, like, you know, Kind of Funny Day is getting close, and I'm in fear of it.
It's delayed this year. It's delayed.
Albatross.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
By a while, so we'll see. Who knows?
But
But
it's
we
just the conditioned fear of December.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
what's Tim's gonna ask me for on vacation?
Exactly.
It's just all
It's gonna
anxiety.
be a lot, Andy. It's gonna be more. I'm letting you know right now. Leading into the new studio, like I'm gonna ask for more than I've ever asked from anybody on this
no.
team. It's happening. We're going
Wait,
so
from all of us or
hard
just
for it.
Andy?
Everyone, every single person. I'm
I
gonna.
thought it was just Andy.
I'm gonna make sure everyone's talents are used to their utmost, and if they don't have talents, I'm gonna figure that out and force them to get on the same level as others.
This means so many color-coded spreadsheets. I can tell.
Oh, Joey, you were about to spreadsheet.
Joe, you are going to be an
Night in, night
ex-hell.
Oh, I see. I got it.
Oh, ex-hell.
Wow.
Ex-hell. I
Wow.
want to tell Tim a story
that?
that happened the other day
Oh,
on
can't
stream when we were playing Forza Horizon. And it was just one of those Nick moments that I will never forget.
Jesus.
Um,
What did I do? Oh, God.
we
Are
are,
you talking
we are playing.
about
in
the
a-
Justin Bieber
we were
thing?
playing in a game,
Don't tell me
and
what.
somebody's name is like watermelon something. So immediately I go watermelon sugar high, and then I tell a story about a TikTok that I saw, and it's a TikTok.
So I
that
zone out at
sent-
this point because I'm like, great, Andy's talking about TikTok.
It's a TikTok that I sent to quite a bit of people, and it is what I mean. Gosh, I remember Harry Styles It is Harry Styles,
Oh.
the singer, at a concert, and he sees a girl in the front row, and he figures out somehow that it's not really her birthday, even though she said it was.
She has like a sign or something, right?
She has a sign with her, something about it's my birthday. She wants to get like a little selfie with him. And then he kind of figures out that she's lying. He's like, when's your birthday? It's not, your birthday's it's in June? In June? Like, and obviously they're far away from June. So like it becomes a big funny thing. And then it seems like maybe a year later, the same concert is happening at a different venue, maybe the same venue, but the same woman
He's on
is there.
tour right now. People
Yeah,
travel along with him, you know?
Yeah, the same woman is there, like at a different area, but like still in the front row with a sign, and he recognized her and goes, No, you tricked me last time. Your birthday's in June. I remember you. Are you trying to trick me again? And it becomes a big thing, and everybody's laughing, and it's a really, really funny.
Styling on Cat.
It's a funny video, and it just showed that like what a personable dude. Like it's really cute. It's a very cute video. So I tell that story, and it lasts no longer than what I just told right now. And then we continue to play for like a couple minutes, and then Nick goes, watermelon sugar high. You ever heard that song by Justin Bieber? And I said, it's not Justin Bieber. And he goes, and he laughs and he goes, well, why the fuck is that song in my head anyway? And I said, Nick, because I sang it about 30 fucking seconds ago. That's why.
Now,
You know, hold on, but Nick, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You don't get to talk yet. You don't get to talk. I don't know what it says about me that if this was Kevin, my blood would be boiling. But because it's Nick, I can't even explain what my blood's doing. It is something. It's a visceral feeling inside of me that like, oh, that is such a Nick thing. Like I could have called that. That is ridiculous. But there is a joy to it. There is some level of levity to that.
1000%, Tim. It was just so funny for him to sing it and then go, why is that song on my head? And I said, because I just sang it and then just told a story about it.
in my
Harry
defense,
Styles, not Justin Bieber.
in my defense, I was playing through the first 45 minutes of Forza, which is a tutorial, and that game is not well laid out, and it does not tell you what you're supposed to do. So I was mostly focusing on that. But I also was not paying attention to Andy at all.
It was just
so there is that.
Such a great moment. I laughed
definitely a
so
senior
hard.
Yeah.
it was such a senior moment. That is
It's
the
not
perfect
a
thing
great
to call it.
defense, Your Honor. It's basically like going into a trial and being like temporary insanity. That's how much I know I'm going to get convicted on that one. God, and you know what's sad, dude? Is like Mike comes off as this nice guy, but man, when you screw up in front of him, he laughs at you so hard.
Yeah.
And it hurts. It really does.
Oh yeah, he goes for the throat. 1000%, Nick.
Like when Mike calls you a jabroni, it can either be a term of endearment or the biggest, like the deepest cut humanly possible.
Oh yeah, Mike or Nick. When I took a different strategy in Mario Party and I chose to switch with a random player and I switched with him, and it worked out perfectly in my favor. And Mike continues to go, you switch with me? What the fuck is this guy thinking? What the fuck are you thinking right now? And I'm just like, I want to fucking uppercut you so hard. This completely helped me out anyway, and in some random way. And you were just going to try to get chat to make fun of me. That's all you're doing right now. It is the evil that came out. And then all y'all just fucking choked against Barrett. Jesus Christ.
So hard.
So embarrassing, dude.
Like, here's the thing. Nobody expects anything from me. That's what I've carved out as my role here at KindaFunny. But the fact that everyone else just dropped the ball so thoroughly and fundamentally makes me question a lot of things about my life choices and where it's brought me to. But it was worth it for that beat. No.
Yeah, no. I don't think you
Because mostly because I was like, my biggest mistake was not making Joey play for me. That was it. Because then here's the thing, Tim. This is where that was gonna go. Win or lose, I get to have fun, right? Joey wins, I go, see, I put the best person forward, she wins. Lose, I get to dump on Joey for the next 6 months until she decides to 1v1 me in Mario Party.
I mean, I just want it very clear to everybody that Deadpool 2 came out in what year? 2018, I think. And you still took her for that. So I don't think that there's ever anything, new reason that you need.
Have you ever looked at a pair of binoculars the wrong way and everything seems really, really small? That's what that screen was. It was like looking at it. It was like looking at it on an iPhone 4. I'm just saying. I'm
Tim,
just
I
saying.
just want you to know that moving forward, any tickets I get, I'm always gonna get one less than we need. And Nick is on
Okay.
his fucking own. Nick can be part of the 6 a.m. ticket getting.
I'm fine with
crew.
it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't care. I don't need to see those movies. I'll just read the Wikipedia like I do most of the time.
We're in a weird place with movie tickets right now because people are going to movies, but there's a lot of people not going to movies. It creates this weird thing where in theaters, if you're buying tickets, like the seats next to you aren't buyable anymore. So it's like you gotta make sure you have the right amount of people that you're trying to get at once, or else it's really hard to get tickets for one group. Because I've had to do this for things like Eternals and a couple other things where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm getting these 4. Oh wait, I need these 9. I need these whatever, and there's just a bunch of holes in the thing. So I need to keep track of where the holes are because they don't make it clear necessarily on the website. Once they're gone, they just kind of look booked like any other booked ticket.
Yeah.
So it's just been this new layer of nightmare, but there is the like ease of less people are trying to get in. Like getting Avengers Endgame tickets, and obviously Endgame was a little different of a situation, but even like Far From Home or like any movie around that era, like that was really hard. Nowadays it's more Joey and I need to be on call at all times because at any moment these tickets might drop. There used to be rhyme and reason of like, oh, here's the final trailer. That means the tickets are out. Now, no. It's just randomly, it's 6 a.m. tickets, 10 a.m. tickets. It doesn't fucking matter. But me and her, dream team. We haven't dropped the ball once in years at this point. Like, we get the whole squad, best tickets since 2018. You're right. You're right.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the KindaFunny podcast where each and every week 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, mostly at this point, just to talk a lot of crap about whoever's not on this podcast. We love you being a part of this show. We love to see your support. If you want to support it, you can go over to patreon.com/kindafunny and back us at any tier. We get lots of cool perks, like you get ad-free content, you get to watch the post show with us, all sorts of fun stuff, and you get to ride into the show just like Melissa Hagler did. And I got a fun question from her to ask you all later. Of course, thank you to our Patreon producers, Pranksky and Delaney Twinning, and also shout out to our sponsors for this show, MeUndies, Uncommon Goods, and Stamps.com. We'll get to those a little bit later. It was just a good burn, Joe. I'm sorry. It's one of those things where, like, as a comic, as a failing, miserable stand-up comic who's still doing open mics,
big failure,
just a giant failure. When you have a joke that works, and it's low-hanging fruit, Joey. It's pandering to the audience. It's like coming out there. And,
is it like the Uber joke of just the KindaFunny universe?
You mean my old Uber joke that Tim told to make fun of me that one time? Yeah, I don't tell that anymore because someone stole that joke from me, and now I'm like, well, this person's more established in the comedy scene, and so now I'm like, well, now if I do the joke, it looks like I stole the joke from him.
To your credit, it was a fucking funny joke.
It still is good.
Hold on, Nick, and I don't mean to call you out here if this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
But at some point last night, you either slacked or texted me saying, this is where I do comedy.
I didn't know if you saw that or not.
And I woke up. I saw a notification, and I just saw that line, but I didn't see the rest. And now I can't find it. And I never looked at it because I was doing something else. So it's all gone. But
yeah. I deleted it because I sent you a couple of the slacks, and I was like, they were actually real slacks, so I didn't want. I was like, I'll just delete that. It wasn't very funny. It was one of those things where in the darkness of night, when you're at let's just put it this way, when you're at a hardcore bondage bar doing an open mic, and they've got some interesting art on the walls, and you're like, this would be a good idea to slack your coworker, and then I'm like, nah, you know what? We're gonna delete that.
James
We're gonna
Bondage.
delete that. You want me to send you the picture now? I can text it to you.
I mean, yeah, I would like to see.
It wasn't anything crazy. It was just.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't. I also like to see you deleted it because you wanted to make sure that the slacks were like just for work stuff. And I'm looking at what you sent me on Slack last, and like, God damn, it's not.
I like to mess with it. Here's a very
funny joke.
Here's what's really in here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like the jokes to get in front of each other. So real talk, I was like, which one of these is funnier?
One's better?
Which one's funnier?
Got it. I fucking hate you. But again, my blood's not boiling. No. There's something else going on.
No, it's love. I think that's what it is.
Can you all check the chat real quick? The YouTube chat whenever you all get a chance.
What do they want?
No, I just put a message in
What do
there.
they, what do they want?
Oh my god.
Can you tell Tim, Nick, and Joey I have to put my clothes in the dryer? They're in the washer right now. Says kind of funny.
I typed that in, so just
I imagine that was you. Yeah,
keep that in mind. Just so I don't
okay.
bring up. I can't bring up a link in the next like 2 minutes.
Listen, Andy.
What's up?
Here's the deal. If you're saying me, hey, I need to walk over and fold my clothes, as the person who's quote unquote directing or producing this show, that is the least weird thing a producer or director of the show has ever said. At one point, I think Kevin ran out so that Joey could pour water in his mouth at one point. There's another point where I think Kevin was riding his Roomba around the room.
Right.
There's
There
another
was the
point where
he was in the garage and then knocked
Right.
on my window.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing is,
So-
I don't have a wireless headset, so I can't be like Andy, where you at? And be like, oh, sorry guys, I was still listening to the show, but I was out back fighting a beehive because a beehive got too close. You know,
Yeah.
you know the beehives in San Francisco, they always get
I've
too
got
close
too
to you.
close.
They get
Beehive
too
got
close
too
to
close.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think that in your brain, you look over your shoulder, the beehive's 20 feet away. You look back, it's 15
It's just
feet away.
always
You're like,
there. It's
It's
always
like
Like
the
the
there.
beehive getting
snail
closer to
just
me?
following you.
God dang.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I mean, we talked about it before. Can we talk about the cats pooping in Kevin's backyard and how that is the funniest thing that he's ever said? Because here's the thing about Kevin. He is one of the funniest human beings on the planet. He just doesn't know he is, which makes him even funnier. The shit that happens to him on a daily basis is the stuff of comedic legends. If you told these stories, if people did this stuff on purpose, you'd be like, genius level comedy. But life just comes along and slaps Kevin on his ass every once in a while, and we get the benefit of that. We get to see it, but we also get the drawbacks of it. You know what I mean, Tim? It's like a pro and a con. Because that
It's a lot of
Kevin's like, I
Honestly-
gotta run over and clean the cat poop from my backyard. And we're like,
The
producing
weekend-
show.
The weekend that Mike and Roger were here and the
Ah.
skunk incident
That's the
happened,
best.
like that is one of those things where as it was happening, I was like, there's no way. There's just no like the odds of the timing of all of this working out the way that it does is just seems astronomical that it would happen. But that seems like the odds of every single Kevin story.
It makes me simultaneously angry, but also inspired that we're not doing episodes of the animated show anymore. Because Kevin's life over the last like 6 months, you can't write that shit. You can't write it. I would devote a whole episode to his war with the neighborhood cats.
Dude, I mean,
A whole
that would
episode
need a
of it. It would just be
3-part epic. Like that
Kevin
would be
versus
one of
the
those
cat.
like
yes, it would be the
that's one of
fucking
those-
battle of the bastards.
it's
That's
one of
what
the
it would be.
arcs that they need to like put on a VHS tape that you can rent at Blockbuster because it's like one of the most iconic moments of the
Yes.
season.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you need to watch all three back to back. The funny thing about Kevin's life in the last year, I would say,
It's been a lot.
honestly, 30 years.
Has it always been like this though, Tim?
Yes, it has, and it's only gotten more and more and more. But with that, with the maturity that the both of us have earned in some way, shape, or form, take it for what it's worth. I have just learned.
I'm back, guys. I'm back.
Thank God. Is your wash okay?
Oh, it's great. Yeah. Because here's the thing: I left them in the. I never folded them. I never took them out of the hamper, so they just got all wrinkly. Like all my shirts got wrinkly, and I was gonna hang some of them up, and I was like, these are way too wrinkly. I'm just gonna throw them back in the washer and re-dry them.
I like that Tim referred to your laundry as your wash. It's very Brit. That's like
It's a very
English
British
to say.
thing, yeah.
That's just one of. at the moment I said it, I'm like, someone's gonna give me.
Do you
shit
have a
for this.
washroom?
It's what my mom called it.
How's your loo?
My mom always just called it. Said, "Do the wash."
Yeah.
and I did the wash.
No, I love it.
I
I'm
don't know.
referring to that from now on. I think Dee calls it the wash every
Do
once
the
in a while too,
twist.
because she likes to be
Yeah,
European.
because it's funny because to me, wash implies washer and dryer. I just realized that's where wash came from.
That's why they call it the wash. Yeah.
Did you get into the gummies recently?
Laundry. I'm getting really confused right now. This is one of those things that in my life I never thought about.
Yeah.
How the words work, where it's washer, dryer. Doing the laundry would make way more sense than my mom saying doing the wash to imply both the things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a term people used to use, right? You don't think of it as a laundry machine, right? You think of it as washer and dryer. So calling it the wash kind of is like, I don't know. It's like saying do the dishes, but what you're really saying is like clean the dishes, put them in the dishwasher or whatever.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing.
it is.
Weird
Sorry,
term
what were
phrase.
y'all talking about? My bad.
Just the epic that
maturity
is
of Kevin.
Kevin's year. Just the stuff that he
Oh,
does
okay.
on a
Yeah,
daily
yeah.
basis.
That's what it was. It's I hit a point, and he's hit a point where his life is as ridiculous as it's always been, and I have to deal with it. And my life has its share of moments, and he has to deal with those. But every time one of these moments happen, I end up having to be the one responsible when Kevin hits the final wall. I have to be his rock. It's rare, but I have to be the rock. And the skunk time was one of those times.
That was the time.
Where it's like, hey, the skunk, this is an issue. And it had to be like, you know what? I'm already upset for a lot of reasons. It's really late. I have to fucking wake up at 7 a.m. for Six Flags. Fucking Six Flags.
But it's worse for him. That's the thing.
And that was the thing. I was like, this is all happening because of him. But
Yeah.
I just need to be there for him because he's going through it right now. And you know what? It was all worth it to see Roger Picorni and Snowbike Mike get out of that Uber in what looked to be just some MeUndies and oversized t-shirts, holding like just a pillow, walking up like they were kids kicked out of their sleepover. It was so
Like a couple of
fucking
vagrants
funny.
on the street.
Yo, I have never seen adults look that childish.
That defeated.
That
that
defeated.
vulnerable.
Oh, that's the word. It's vulnerable. And oh my God,
And that's the thing. That's the thing about that's the thing about One Snowbike Mike is that he has so many talents and he's such a smart guy. But every once in a while he does things where I'm like, we got to take care of Snowbike Mike. We got to make sure he's okay. We got to offer him a guiding hand right now. And that was one of those moments where I was like, I think we're pushing up a little too far because he's going to want to still go to Six Flags the next day out of just pure Snowbike Mike-ness. But I'm like, maybe we should just relax with him right now. You guys took him. And he forgot his wallet or whatever he did.
Yeah,
Or it was his cell phone.
Left his phone in the car.
No, he didn't forget it. Did not forget it, Nick. I want it clear. He
left it there,
chose
yeah.
to leave it.
Right.
He wanted to be unencumbered.
And what if we get lost? What if we lose you in the park? Nah,
wild.
I'll be fine. I also want to point out one other thing about Kevin that I respect and I also get annoyed by. I respect that he is driving to be healthier right now with his weight loss. He's been eating better as of recently, and he'll do this every once in a while, as will I. Where like you find that sort of that rhythm, right? I'm gonna go to the gym and eat salads. I'm gonna feel better about myself. And the thing that I don't look forward to, Tim, is something that I feel like we go through once a year with Kevin. Is Kevin will pop up and be like, just check the scale. I've lost 80 pounds in the last 2 days. And it's like, how? Like, enough. Just check the scale. In the last week, I lost 144 pounds. Like, what are you what are these numbers you're throwing at me? They're enough with I can't do it. It's impossible to do that, first off. And second off, it's a lot of jealousy. I'll be real with you. It's a lot of jealousy.
Well, Kevin's mountain might be slightly higher to climb than yours, Andy.
No, but it's just like, it's always like, I ate good for the last 24 hours and I lost 78 pounds. Like, what
It does
scales are you
seem, like,
using?
Wildly easy for him to put in like this much more effort and get like a way higher return.
Big return, Joe. And then, it was to the point where I was like, Kevin, you're losing more weight than I'm shitting per day. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
And Kevin goes, if I just don't eat like completely awful, I do fine. But it just turns out that every meal he wants to be completely awful.
Andy, I was part of this conversation as this was happening, and you said that you that's more than you shit, and it kind of concerned me because, like, you know, I this is a little TMI with TIM. I shit some big ol' shits, but like I don't know that I'm shitting 10 pounds a day.
It was mostly just me ragging on the large numbers that Kevin throws at us.
Gotcha. Okay.
I ate good for dinner last night. I woke up this morning and I'm 49 pounds lighter. Like, these numbers you're throwing at us have no place in reality. But I'm also jealous. Like, let's be real with y'all. I'm jealous. That's the thing with it.
That's the thing about Kevin that's dangerous, right? Is that he can shed that. He knows how to shed the weight, right? He does like the high protein diet. He'll do low carb. He'll cut out the sugars, and he'll just start to slim down. But then I feel like he goes, "Cool, I'm good. I can be bad again," and that's when fun Kevin comes back.
I mean,
that's when the Kevin starts to double fisted milkshakes, and you're like, "This is the Kevin that I know. This is party Kevin."
That's my big weakness, Nick. Is, I'll eat good for 2 days and go, all right, I can be bad tonight, and it's 2 bags of hot fries and a fucking Mountain Dew, and I'm like, what? Yeah. I really feel like when people that are trying to be like drug and alcohol free, when they have that relapse, like I always have the moment of relapse where I wake up and there's just like fucking crumbs all around me and there's hot Cheeto bags everywhere, and I just feel like
why do I
shit.
smell like McDonald's? I'm not quite sure.
Oh
Dude,
no judgment here at all. But like, Andy, really, have you ever had 2 bags of chips in one day? Because I've never done that. And there's not extreme judgment there because like I ate very poorly and all that. But like, I don't know that I could do more than 1 bag of like hot Cheetos in a day.
You could. The problem with Cheetos, this is the issue I have with a lot of junk food, right? And this is something like I ate very, very clean for a solid like 3 months somewhere in this year. I couldn't tell you which months they were, but I remember being like, I'm starting to lose more weight because I was starting to tip the scales at a number I did not like. And I'm like, okay, it's stressful. We're all, the stress of the pandemic and, the job and the studio and all that stuff has to go someplace. And it's going right to my waistline. So I'm like, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. But I got to a point where when I had a cheat day, I was like, I'm going to go get like goldfish crackers. And I ate the whole bag and I felt full, but not satiated. So you just that food just makes you want to keep eating, but you feel bloated, but your stomach doesn't feel full. If that makes sense. Like you don't feel like you just could keep eating over and over again. And if you don't feel that feeling, Tim, you're very lucky because that's pretty much, I have to remind myself to stop eating every single time I eat anything that like tastes remotely good. I'm like, it's time to stop. You've been eating this for 2 hours straight. You got to stop doing this.
The chat is asking like, what bags are we talking? Like the normal
99-cent bag. Well, the
dollar,
$90s,
$1.29 or whatever the hell.
I've legit fucked up an entire like big boy bag of Cheetos in a day.
Easy. See, the only chips that I think I could do that big bag for is like the barbecue Lays. And I think that's just more of they're near me at a party and I just keep going and I can't stop. The next thing I know, someone asks for them and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
With me, Tim, it's always the double bag days only ever happen when I'm back home and I'm visiting friends and I know I'm going to be at a friend's place for a long time. Like you get there at 8 p.m., you're going to leave like at 3 in the morning because you're just playing video games and watching YouTube, whatever the fuck. And I'll buy a bag of Flamin' Hot Fries and then I'll buy a bag of like Flamin' Hot Cheetos or Fritos or something like that. So that's always 2 bags. One you have at 8 and then the other one you have like at 1 in the morning because you just want to keep on snacking. And there's just lots of beverages. There's just a lot of unhealthy things happening. Those are the double bag days. Do I do it on a regular basis? No. But I'll tell you what happened recently at the CVS. Big stuff happening at the CVS.
I love Andy again. If
I
were doing the
CVS
animated
update
series,
in quite some time.
If I were doing the animated series still, Joey, Andy's adventure at the CVS would be like a I would just do a labyrinth episode where he has to work his way through the labyrinth that is the CVS by his house.
Is David Bowie there?
Yeah, David Bowie would definitely be there, but
like
Greg
magic
would voice him.
Crystal ball.
Magic baby.
By the way, fun piece of trivia, Joey. He never learned how to do that. There was always a person off screen doing it for him. So that's why when you watch a couple of the scenes, the hand looks a little bit weird from the angle.
Oh, because
yeah, everyone's like, oh, he learned how to. People are like, he learned how to do that. But then I read a piece of trivia saying he couldn't do all of it. He couldn't do the really complicated shit. So the moment, like the first time you see him when he's doing the ball, if Andy could probably bring it up, you could totally tell that it's someone's hand like underneath him that's like doing it.
What were you talking about?
Fun. Labyrinth. Sorry, I interrupted your CVS story. I'll find the Labyrinth.
So here's the thing that's been there are many things happening, much like you all building out the studio. Lots of good, lots of bad, right?
Right.
I equate it to my experience with going to CVS. So recently, they got the snack size bags of Flamin' Hot Fritos, and those are my favorite. Yeah, like
I've never seen Flamin' Hot Fritos.
Oh, Cheetos. I'm sorry, Flamin' Hot. The snack size bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. The ones you normally buy.
Please describe snack size.
Snack size, Tim. I'm talking like it's a bag that's maybe 4 inches by 4, maybe 5 inches by 5 inches.
Are these the ones you'd get like
square.
in your lunch as a kid?
They're the size that come in bulk of like
at Costco.
I can bring it up. They're very, very small, Tim.
Okay, yeah, I feel you.
The thing that I love about the snack size Cheetos They really remind me of working at Rooster Teeth because they would stock 2 bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos in the morning, and I was always the first one to take both of them. Nobody knew. I bet you there were people.
Got both of them every time.
Joe, I bet you there was people that worked at Rooster that never even knew Flamin' Hot Cheetos were being stocked. I bet you these motherfuckers, they didn't know a goddamn thing that I was the one sneaking in there and just taking them like Gollum, you know? The thing about them, Tim, that's really special to me is that the Cheetos are much smaller in comparison to Cheetos in normal size bags.
I don't like that.
Is that a thing?
Love the
Is it not all
smaller
from the same
Cheetos.
batch?
No, they are always smaller. They are much more crunchy. They are like, it's everything that I want in the Cheeto bag. They are all so small and they have such a good texture. My mouth's watering just thinking about it right now. These are the ones that are just absolutely kick ass. And it's these little tiny ones. And
dude, it's so funny you're saying this because I am so with you. Where I do agree, these are the best tasting chip for chip, but the quantity is such a problem for me.
Yeah, this is my thing.
That I'm like, I need
those,
more.
I start thinking 3. I need to get 3 of those bags.
And I would rather the less good chip for chip ratio of a bigger bag than the little guys. But if you're going hard and you're just like, I'm committing to this, and I know you can do that, Andy, because I know you very well. I know you put gum on your seat. You have the whole plan. Yeah. So if you want to just buy,
Andy, are you still doing the gum thing?
Well, I don't have any gum
on his seat. He's just putting it on his desk.
But that's not any better, Nick.
For a while. No, it was disgusting.
Just like a little pile of it on a wrapper.
I don't see what the big deal
is. We gotta work on that.
I don't see what's wrong with it, honestly.
It's one of those things that if there are certain telltale signs that someone's starting to lose it. And sticking gum onto your desk, just letting gum sit there for maybe a later time, that's one of those things that makes me want to drive over there and take you out to dinner.
Okay, when I say a later time, we're not talking like I'm not saving it for Mother's Day. I'm saving it for maybe 4 minutes from now.
Nope, doesn't matter.
The pile of gum does not stay on my desk for longer than maybe 15 minutes. Legitimately 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll mix and match and I'll grab a bag and I'll grab this one looks more colorful. That one's probably got more flavor. And I'll stick that one back in my fucking yapper and I'll just chew on that one for a little bit. But anyway, back to the Cheetos. The snack size hot Cheetos are absolutely pound for pound my favorite. But here's a bad thing that's happening at CVS.
Uh-oh.
And this is like, this is something like, is this Biden's America? I don't know, everybody. Why did I take it there? I walk in.
I was like, what happened? Is there a Trump? It was like
I don't even know what direction that means this conversation
CVS?
Is going in.
Here's the thing, and it's something that I've been noticing more and more, but on a day like today where it is Veterans Day and we're disrespecting the troops in this way, there are a lot of people in the store today.
We're threading the needle here, Joe. We're threading the needle.
There are a lot of people in the store today because it's Veterans Day and everybody's off, which is something I didn't even know was happening until I walked outside. I was like, wow, everybody's in the streets right now. This is wild. And it's happened in the past on non-holidays, but it's something I've been noticing. I walk up to the front counter and the dude who normally helps me behind the counter is like, here you go. Come to the self-checkout. And I go, oh my God, you are giving your job away, aren't you? You are preparing to give your job away, sir. They are training you to teach people how to use the self-checkout, even though it never fucking works. Trust me, I would love to not have to deal with anybody, but that motherfucking thing never works. And I always have to sit there and wait. And while it goes, boom, boom, ask of something to help out, whatever. And I go, can I get, it's doing something. And I also need a bag also, by the way. Those things never work. But lately, the people that help you behind the counter are only directing people to the self-checkouts and going, here you go. Oh, right over here. If you have any problems, do you need a bag? Cool, I'll go get you a bag. And it's like, okay, you're trying to expedite this service. You're trying to make this more of a normal thing. But you are fucking teaching the robots to take your job. That's all you're doing, right? You don't see it right now. You think you're getting a paycheck. And today, Tim, even worse today on Veterans Day of all days. On Veterans Day of all days, I'm standing there, and the dude is like, "Oh, do you want to do self checkout over here?" And I'm like, "Well, sure. That seems like the only option. Fuck it. I'll go to the self checkout thing." And there's a guy in a gray shirt. And I'm thinking, that's a different colored shirt. That's a different colored polo. I'm assuming you're some regional type of fucking manager.
You're important.
And he walks up to me and goes, do you need a bag, sir? I'm like, yeah, I'll take a bag. And he tells the dude to get my bag. And then he's like, if you need anything, let me know. And I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I've worked at Best Buy. I've worked at retail. I know what's happening here. You're never here. I've never seen your face. You definitely work for corporate. And then as the normal helper comes back to him, he kind of leans over and he's like, see, this is what you got to do. You got blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of like whispering in his ear as the regional guy. And it's like, look, normal coworker, regional guy will be here in the next 3 years. These robots, they're taking your job, okay? Yeah. The automation is taking your job. All you're doing is training me to get better at this, even though this thing, well, guess what? The fucking thing didn't work again, so I sought to get help. But it's especially on Veterans Day of all days, Tim, it's like these regional managers are in there leaning over to their coworkers and going, yeah, see, and what happens is, here's the problem. God damn it. I'm so fucking mad about it because the area you put all your groceries in is way too small for the amount of things I'm getting. And
what I love about this is Andy is so passionate, and I'm not quite clear.
I don't know why he's mad.
Most mad at.
I don't know why he's mad.
This might be the most convoluted story I've ever
Joey,
heard.
they're disrespecting the veterans, okay? And when I get there, it's the tiniest, here's the problem. To bring it all back around, to bring a full circle, the little tiny fucking Cheeto bags aren't heavy enough to register the weight on the thing, so it goes,
here's the real issue.
Put the item in the bag, sir. Put the item in the bag. And I go, it's fucking there. And first of all, there's not a bag there.
This is the issue.
But, and here's the thing. They don't put the bag in the little slot. They just want you to place it on a platform. And what if the thing falls off? It goes, oh, an item isn't on the thing anymore. Like, okay, you have a camera looking at me right now. You have a camera to see.
No one's watching that camera, though.
No, but like every camera like will see me on the self-checkouts to see, is this man stealing? How about you put a camera and teach the camera Google Neural AI to be like, hey, is there actually an item there? Because this weight, it's not heavy enough to be, weighted on here. So it's saying like, hey, you didn't put the item. It's right there. The little bag of Cheetos right there. I see it. All those little tiny Cheetos that are waiting to get put in my mouth, but I got to wait and get a manager to fucking help me. It's just, it's a calamity.
I'm shocked that you're having this much issues with this because I had the same issues you're talking about here with like it not being enough weight and all that stuff when I was 17 at a Lucky's near the high school I went to. But I haven't had an issue with self-checkout in 10 years.
And neither had I when I would go to Target. What is it about these CVS ones? Is it the guy with is it corduroy guy fucking getting me back for talking shit? I don't know.
I have issues at Target. I have issues at Molly Stone. I have issue pretty much one out of every 3 times I do the self-checkout. It requires a human being to come over and help me out. And normally it's fine because you know how they always have the self-checkouts they're like organized so that there's one person at the tip of it, sort of like overseeing what's going on, sort of like a pit boss at a casino.
Directing traffic.
Exactly. So like they see that the thing pops up, it pops up on their screen saying so-and-so needs like an item check or whatever. And they come over and they kind of give you the look and then they type in their code and you're like, I'm looking at your code. Like I'm not going to not look at the code. I don't have it in me to have someone type something in front of me and not see the code. But it's the moments where that person's not there. And then you just feel like you are a child lost in a department store. Like, I don't know what to do now. I just came.
Nick, you stand there, you look up and you go, help! And like, you just ask for help.
Somebody help me. Help me. Is what I do.
You just have to ask for help, Nick. And
the worst part though, Andy, is sometimes they go like this. Like, because the Target is pretty cool. The Molly Stone that I sometimes find myself in is very particular. You have to ring the thing in, right? Boop, and you have to do what you're talking about. We have to put it on the thing. If you don't put it on the thing, it will not let you. Like if it doesn't register, it will not let you proceed. But it doesn't. It tells you it in such a way that it's convoluted. And there have been so many times where I've just asked them for help and they came over and they looked at me and they took the thing off of the little weight thing and put it onto the other thing and it just kept working. And I feel so stupid every time I screw
I mean,
up
look,
at a
they know the
self-checkout.
tricks of the trade. They're trying to teach us them. But how am I supposed to balance this little bag of hot Cheetos on this multivitamin bottle when there's not enough space for the thing to sit on the cap and it's imbalanced and there's a lot of issues there? And I've never felt more validated in my life than when I kind of... They know I don't have good luck with them. Like the regulars there, they know that I don't like these machines, right? We talk about them all the time. They go on their smoke breaks. I stand out there with them. I eat some hot Cheetos, and we just talk about the issues that we have with these machines. Yeah. And the problem with it, though, I've never felt more validated than when the regional manager man walks up to me and sees that I have a problem. And I'm like, thank fucking God. Because if it would have worked flawlessly right here, he would have been like, he would lean over and be like, see, these machines are perfect, Enrique. Enrique, these machines are perfect. Look at this. Like, look at the synchronicity that's happening right now in this store. I'm so happy that he was able to see, wow, maybe these machines are flawed.
Dude, I'm happy that happened to you. I had a weird experience last night that is similar to this, but kind of the opposite thing, where it wasn't so much. Go for it, Nick.
But before Tim gets to that, we'll tell you about our sponsors.
Big tease.
This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. It's cozy season and it's time to go all in on the cozy, baby. This year, MeUndies wants to help you surround your family and friends with comfort. With new classic plaid and holiday sweater prints, MeUndies is turning up the comfort this holiday season. You know, I love their undies. Obviously, I'm wearing them right now. My entire body right now is actually covered in MeUndies, and I would never have it any other way. And you get to match your whole family because they got a whole bunch of different things. They got these PJ sets. You can have some plush robes, some slippers, whatever you decide. Everyone will be rolling into the new year comfy. It's available in sizes extra small through 4XL. MeUndies has a great offer for you guys. For any first-time purchasers, you can get 15% off and free shipping right to your door. Your days of fighting for your life in the mall parking lot are over. To get 15% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/morning. That's MeUndies.com/morning. Next up, shout out to Uncommon Goods. The holidays are about more than friends and family. They're about winning the title of Best Gift Giver Ever, a title that Kevin Coelho vies for and mostly succeeds with every single year. And Uncommon Goods can help make you a Kevin Coelho and give you an edge on this year's competition. Gia's been using this to get a lot of her friends some stuff and family. They have some fun puzzles. They have these fun pint glasses that are based on different baseball fields out there. Really cool stuff. Uncommon Goods also offers uncommon experiences. You can choose from live online classes in mixology, cooking, flower arranging, embroidery, and more from hand-picked artists and experts. Plus, with every purchase you make, Uncommon Goods gives $1 to a non-profit partner of your choice. Really cool stuff. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/kindafunny. That's uncommongoods.com/kindafunny for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. And next up, shout out to Stamps. We're all trying to save around the holidays, and that includes saving time because no one wants to spend theirs in line at the post office. Dodge all of that with Stamps.com. Stamps.com lets you compare rates, print labels, and access exclusive discounts on UPS and UPS services all year long. Whether you're selling online, running an office, or side hustle, Stamps.com can save you tons of money and stress, not to mention time over the holidays. Kind of funny, we have a ton of things to give away. We do physical giveaways all the time, and we have to ship them out. And thanks to Stamps.com, it makes it a lot easier for Joey Noel and Cool Greg to stay sane and save a lot of their time and money. Plus, you can get discounts of up to 40% off USPS and 76% off UPS. Save time and money this holiday season with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code KindaFunny for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code KindaFunny.
And we're back.
Yeah, love it.
All right.
I had to get gas last night, and I pull up to the gas station like I always do. And what happens at a gas station for the last 15 years? You don't need to walk in. You just put your card in the thing.
Card in the thing.
You know what I mean? I have not went into a gas station. I swear to God, they're getting smaller and smaller. Those little rooms. Like, I remember when we were
Tim,
little,
it's like a 2x2.
It felt like a whole store, and now it's just like a phone booth.
Yeah.
But I was like, I haven't been in one of those. Like, why would I ever do that? And ever since I've had my car, my Prius C, which now has been 6-7 years, like I have not ever once went in there. I always just put my card in, hit the regular, I let it fill up, boom, 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 it's done. Right?
Bada bing,
It
bada boom.
eventually it does that little it clicks off. Cool, my shit's full. I can leave now. And it's like I look at the number, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, that was X amount of money. That's more than it seemed to be last time, but I don't remember how much it was last time. Like I could not tell you. And proof that I cannot tell you is last night, for some reason, it wasn't working. I was so upset at this that I was like, I'm not going in there. I backed up to the other one because I'm like, I'm going to just use the other machine. Try that. Some weird ass shit. It's telling me like, you got to go see the person. And I'm like, oh no. Go in, talk to this guy. He was shocked I was there. Like, he was like, what type of cigarettes
He
you
hadn't
want? I'm
seen a
like,
human being in his life.
legitimately, he asked me, what type of cigarettes you want? I'm like, I don't want cigarettes. I want this stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, how much you want to put on it? And I froze. I had no idea how much I want to put on this.
Oh, you just pump and it ends and you leave your merry way.
And that's it. I have no concept of like how much. I know how much it has cost in the past. Sometimes $27, sometimes $36.
This is like Lucille Bluth with like, how much is this banana? $10 or whatever.
I'm like, I have no idea. And I was like, I'm just trying to fill it up. And he was just like, okay, but how much money? And I felt so Andy Cortez-ish in this moment. I was like, I don't know. I'm embarrassed. And I literally was just like, $20 because I knew that wouldn't be too much. And this is what I realized as I walked back out to the car, and Gia's like, what the fuck is happening? Why did you back up? Like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know how much money to put in this car.
And on Veterans Day.
Of all days, I was just like, I have no frame of reference for this, so I only put $20 in. Definitely not enough. But I was worried about putting too much in. Obviously, I'm not trying to waste money, but on top of that, I was worried it was going to like explode.
No,
not like an explosion,
back, yeah,
but like a gas explosion.
Yeah, gas leak. Yeah.
And the money just doesn't.
I know
there's a
people
hierarchy of things.
I know people would say that doesn't happen. That would never happen. But when I was 19 years old. My first girlfriend went back before I even had my license. She was driving me around, and it was a stressful day for her. And she pulls up. She was filling her car with gas, and I don't know what the fuck happened. But when I looked at her next, she was covered in gasoline.
Oh, no.
And so hard to be positive in this situation and not laugh and just like. I was like, I don't even know what happened. So I've always been scared of that moment for so many reasons that like, I'm not trying to overfill my shit. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So
anyway, that's my
story. What she probably did was something that I did one time. You only make the mistake once, right? The valves have a security mechanism where it hits it has a little sensor that hits and goes, cool, done. And it pops.
And that's so crazy. Cause where is that sensor?
I think I don't know. Good question.
It's always like something to me, Tim, Nick, where I'm like, I don't see. It just looks like a metal fucking tube.
God damn, you're right. See, yeah. I am so upset at this gas station situation. There's so much I don't know.
But so those.
I don't know if that's a great. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know
how it works.
Joe.
Maybe it works with pressure. I'm not quite sure. But either way, they've got it dialed down to a perfection where you're supposed to, once it pops. You're not supposed to keep pumping it, right? And so I think a lot of people don't realize that, especially when you're first starting out driving. You go, "Oh, it popped. What happened?" And then you do it, and that second throttle
and it goes a little bit.
It'll go a little bit. It'll pop again, and you go, "Wait, there's something wrong." And then you hit it again, and it'll go and just start squirting all over you because you are the gas's boss, not the other way around. There was a while where, because so many people are having problems with this, they flirted with the idea of taking the little pin off of it. The latch that allows the handle itself to like stay open, but then people just revolted against that. They were like, "This is stupid. I can't possibly be expected to hold this handle for 5 minutes while this thing pumps gas." This is America. It's Veterans Day. Okay, Andy, exactly. I'm on the joke with you right now.
Thank you so much.
Here's what happened to me at a gas station today. I pulled over to get gas at a Shell station. Put the debit card in, and I'm always worried, like, oh, it's gonna refuse my debit card, and I have to go in and then have the same situation Tim has, where I don't know how many gallons for my car. I don't pay attention. I put the thing in, it accepts it. I put my PIN number in, everything's good to go. It says, go ahead and select your fuel. I select the fuel, and then it goes, cool, go ahead and start pumping. I look over to grab the pump, nothing there. I think someone had left it in their car and just tore off with it. It was just gone. I was like, huh.
I mean, you know what, Nick? Nick, that's gotta be just the inexperience of going out. I bet. Like
you're just not used to getting gas anymore?
Joe. I mean, the fear that I feel when I have been getting in my car is like, oh, remember the keys, remember the wallet, remember the phone,
remember the whole thing.
Remember, like, if I'm gonna put something on top of my car, you better not, because it was so habitual back in the day, and now I just don't. I haven't been doing that shit every day. Like, remember, you got to put your blinker on, Andy. You gotta I'm worried that I forget how to drive. But anyway, yeah, Channing Tatum would be a terrible Gambit.
Oh my gosh,
terrible.
No, but on the reels, that happened to me during quarantine. The first time that I went back to my parents' house, I like stopped at McDonald's or whatever to get food on the way, and I was so startled by the woman asking me what I wanted to order. Like, I just froze and I had no idea. Like, I had forgotten about that exchange of conversation because we had either just been like cooking or ordering on apps that I forgot that they ask you what you want. And I froze, and I think I panic ordered something that I didn't want.
Wait, where was this at?
I think McDonald's, just in the drive-through. I was just like looking at the menu, figuring out what I wanted, and I just forgot that they ask you. And I remember
you know, it's so fun to go through drive-throughs because you forget how completely dispassionate these poor drive-through workers are. How this job has just beaten them down, and how even when you're trying to be nice to them, they're like, "I don't want you to be nice to me. I don't want you to be anything to me. All I want you to do is take your food and get the fuck out of this drive-through."
Yeah. I want it to be 8 p.m. like that, or whatever. Whatever their closing time is, and I totally feel that. I've felt that before. I have definitely felt that before. Anyway, Channing Tatum would be a terrible Gambit.
I agree.
Why do you think he would be a terrible Gambit?
He would be a terrible Gambit. Let's get it out of the way. He just doesn't look cool. He's an oaf. He's funny as hell. He's a fantastic actor. He's handsome as hell. He doesn't look cool. He doesn't have the cool vibe.
He's a goof. He's a goof.
He's a hot dude. I'm not like, I feel like if I call him a goof, people will think that implies that I think that he's unattractive. I think he's an attractive dude. I just think he's a jock. Like, Gambit to me was never this jock, muscle, beefy dude. He was always the cool, debonair, suave guy, and Channing Tatum has never been that to me. And could he pull that off if I saw him on screen, just like when everybody's like, Heath Ledger's a Joker? No way. Possibly. That could possibly happen. But to me, it's 21 Jump Street goofball. I'm a dumb jock, and I just don't. When that rumor was happening, I was like, "Please God, I don't want to see this. I don't."
You were full on in the Taylor.
I mean, he was like in it, right? Like he had agreed to it. It just never happened.
It got canceled because the Disney deal.
I'm gonna type in cool actors.
But my thing with this is, I don't disagree with you guys in that, like, for what you're talking about, Gambit, that he is a weird call. I'm going to say something that a lot of people are going to disagree with, but at the end of the day, guess what? I'm right, motherfuckers.
I hope you're going to say that you like Taylor Kitsch.
Oh, definitely. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going that far. What I'm saying is, like, the Gambit character to be translated to live action would need a lot of help and a lot of transition. Gambit is one of the 90s characters that were made and are not actually that great. There are moments and highlights that are great, but they would definitely need to be taken from like all the best of moments and turn it into a new character. And I think that Channing Tatum could definitely pull off that. I think that he could be this new version that still has the suaveness, still has a lot of what makes Gambit special, but there's a fun to it and take away some of the creepiness that the Gambit normally exudes.
Make him a little bit more 3D and well-rounded.
I don't disagree. I think it's like, I mean, you tell me What are your favorite Gambit moments? I couldn't fucking name one, Tim.
But he threw the cards. And then when he
just looks
when he
dope.
spun the stick and
He
said
looks
Mona
dope
me.
as hell, and his powers are pink when he throws fucking that's dope
totally.
as shit. He's got a cool ass headpiece. I think his vibe and his look has always been cool as hell. And here's what I'm saying right now: let's go back in time, or no, fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it right the hell now. Robert Pattinson is Gambit, like easy, dude.
Yo, that's awesome.
Fucking easy.
That is awesome.
I could see it because he's got the jawline.
And it's the dope ass hair. Like it's
But the
the
thing
cool
about
long hair.
I'll be the first person to admit my only touchstone really for Gambit is the X-Men cartoon series in the 90s. But I liked his character because he brought an air of levity to all the scenes, right? He was charming. He was an expert. I think he was a thief, right? Wasn't he from like the League of Thieves or whatever it was? And that's fun. I don't know that I need a Gambit movie. I don't know that I need Gambit to be anything but a side character and comedy relief. I'm going to say, what's Paul Rudd doing these days? Throw Paul Rudd back in there, right?
Sexiest Man Alive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can
you
we
see
talk
that?
about that? Yes. And I love...
But everything you just said is Channing Tatum. I just want that out there. Comedy relief. Like,
It
not
could
there
be,
too
but I'm
much.
with Andy. I mean, real talk. I love Channing Tatum, but I don't know that he's got the best acting chops. I think he's always just Channing
How dare
Tatum,
you.
and I think that's totally okay with me. I love him. I want to watch him, and I'll watch him. Whatever. You want to do a Men in Black crossover, 21 Jump Street? Great, throw him in there. But I just like I think that like a lot of the MCU actors are legit great actors. And I would wonder that you throw him in there and it's just Channing Tatum's character from Magic Mike. And you're like, this doesn't really, it might break the reality of it a
I
little bit.
disagree with that because, for one thing, I don't think that Channing Tatum would be my number one pick for Gambit. I want that clear. But I do think that he could make it work. But you look at the MCU now, it's like they got Kumail, they got Paul Rudd, they got like all these people that are Channing Tatum. And that, like I think all of those people are extremely talented and very good at what they do. What they do is be extremely charming and charismatic and funny and also sell kind of emotional scenes every once in a while, but only every once in a while.
That's fair.
And
riffing
people in
off
chat
of-
were like, Mina Kimes agrees. That's definitely why we started on top.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
This is where
Joey
this
didn't
came
know
from,
that
yeah.
it was Nick didn't know? Who didn't know it was a trending thing?
I saw the trending thing. I didn't realize that it was Mina that started.
That's
the whole
right.
thing.
Joey did not have the context, and Mina Kimes of ESPN is the one who had said it in some interview, and that got aggregated and picked up by a bunch of sites. And then
What exactly did she say?
Yeah, let's not misquote her.
I think she just said that like
I
he's a
quote.
lame superhero. Like he's overrated is what she said.
Yeah.
Because somebody had like a hot take about Storm not being cool.
'Cause
and
when
she
I-
was replying to that.
When I
So
interviewed
fucking
her,
cool.
I love Jubilee. I think Jubilee's cool shit just because of her colors and her aesthetic. And she was like, "No, I think Jubilee's lame. I've never liked Jubilee." And I was like,
Here's the thing.
"Really? She's
Like,
cool."
some context for people. I Jubilee, I'm pretty sure about this. Gambit, I am sure about this. Like, the character only existed for a handful of years, like 2 or 3 years before the X-Men cartoon. The X-Men cartoon is like why we all love Gambit. And granted, it's a good reason to love Gambit, but it's like he was brand new, and I'm pretty sure so was Jubilee. At the very least, Jubilee was not like a well-rounded character, and not like Jubilee was ever anyone's favorite in the animated show, unless you were like a lot of young girls like look up to her for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. She was the young girl kind of surrogate character. But like her storyline in comics, it's fucking weird as shit too. And it got kind of she becomes a vampire at one point. It's kind of interesting.
Vampires are cool.
They
But
are.
Is she gonna be a sexy werewolf? That's the real question. Which
Mhm.
one's better, vampire or werewolf? No, I mean, listen. If they were like Channing Tatum's Gambit, I'd be like, I'm fine. It's still a good world to live in. I'm not going to be angry about that, but I do think we could spread it out a little bit and find someone that could be a little bit better for the role. But I do want to call attention to the fact that Paul Rudd was voted Sexiest Man Alive for 2021. And when they asked what he thought about that, he said, and I quote, "Oh, I'm going to lean into this hard." Which is a fucking
I love him.
perfect thing to say when you are voted sexy. A lot of people, Tim, for context sake, you haven't been alive as long as I have. Most people give you the standard fare. It's an honor. I don't think so. I'm just happy that people like me. Paul Rudd fucking gets it. He was like, I'm leaning
amazing.
hard into this. I'm going to lean into this very hard.
I think it's an interesting year for Paul Rudd to be Sexiest Man Alive, because usually I feel like it's somebody that's like in the cultural zeitgeist a lot.
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Yeah,
but it's
when are
not
you
out
not-
yet.
But when
Next
are you
week.
not thinking about Paul Rudd?
It's not out.
I thought
I
about Paul
mean,
Rudd
he's just
3
a
times last
constant
year
in
for
our-
no reason.
This is PR. That's what this is. He's in a movie next week. This magazine's out this week.
Do you remember when
Paul Rudd is a freaking magical human being. He is not the sexiest man alive.
He might be the sexiest man alive, though. Name 15 men sexier than him.
Well,
That
Tim,
doesn't
I think
count.
maybe like other people have just gotten it already. Like I don't. Maybe he's
Okay,
just
hold
next
on.
man up.
George
sort of
Clooney's
thing.
had it twice. Brad Pitt's
Look,
had it twice.
I got the list
Bradley
right
Cooper.
now.
gets it.
Yeah,
2021 Paul Rudd. Last year, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
Great.
The
makes
year
sense.
before that, John Legend.
great. Idris Elba. year
Idris
before that.
Elba. Blake Shelton, which was the whole thing.
Ugh.
I would have
Dwayne
skipped.
The
I
Rock
would have skipped
Johnson.
Blake Shelton and skip John Legend and have Idris Elba those 3 years in a row.
I would have skipped The Rock too. Throw Idris Elba a 4th year. The Rock, I love. He's not sexy. He's not a
2015,
sexy man.
David
Yeah,
Beckham. Chris
Beckham's pretty
Hemsworth.
sexy.
Adam
Chris
Levine.
Nope.
Hmm.
Channing Tatum. 2012.
Boom.
Bradley Cooper. 2011. Ryan Reynolds. Johnny Depp. Hugh Jackman.
Huh.
Matt Damon. Now let's circle back. Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I
You know
just
what,
don't
Tim?
know.
No, you know what, Tim? Because
If
your
Matt
concept of
Damon
what-
can be on the list, then Paul Rudd
Paul
can
Rudd
be on
can
the
be on the
list.
list. Matt Damon's a goofball too.
Also, I don't think. Do people find Johnny Depp sexy?
They used to, Joe.
Yes.
They used to. So Johnny Depp back in the day was very sexy. When he was voted sexiest man alive, though, I don't remember what he was probably doing the Pirates movies back then. Now
I guess it's
he's
true.
that creepy old guy in the bar that wears too many scarves. That's what Johnny Depp is right
A
now.
lot of scarves.
He wears so many scarves, and I don't know why I have a violent reaction to them. I think if it was one fewer scarf, I'd be like, that's
Just
fine.
the
it's normal
scarves.
But it's so many. Andy, Google a picture of Johnny Depp right now, and I'm not going to look at it. Tell me how many scars he's wearing.
Hold
How many
on.
scars he's wearing?
No, I want you to guess actually, but
Okay.
I feel like Johnny Depp is a guy who's always like wanting to spin you a tale, and he says that. You know,
Yeah, exactly. I read a story about Johnny Depp one time that was like he spends. Jesus, look at how many scarves he's wearing.
there's more scarves here than Johnny Depp, like in this Google search.
He's all scarf. He's all scarf in this
It
picture.
is a lot of, and it's a lot of the same scarf,
It's a
which
lot
I'm
of
not
neck accessories.
necessarily
Yeah.
hating on.
It's one of those things where it's like, is the scarf? Is it there for a reason, or is he just like the scarves, right? Because I don't want to make fun of Johnny Depp if the scarf's there for a reason. If he's like, this is my safety scarf or something like
If
that.
he just likes it, you definitely want to make fun of him.
Yeah,
when
because
was Johnny Depp
it's-
sexiest man? What year?
Multiple times, 2003 and 2009.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Johnny Depp back in the day wasn't a sexy motherfucker.
We need
Like if you go back
Like
and
I
look
think
at Johnny Depp,
that's a
from-
really sexy dude right there.
that
I
guy
think.
is sexy as fuck.
That's a sexy dude.
That's a guy that goes, Andy, he says, Andy, let me give you a back massage. And all of a sudden you're married to him. You're like, I don't know how this happened, but this guy's sexy.
Andy, can you pull up the link that I just put in chat here in assets?
I will.
We need
In
to talk about this.
1993, Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford won together. There wasn't
Oh,
a sexiest
interesting.
man. They just made sexiest couple. They're like, fuck it.
Richard
That's so sick.
Gere was
He won it
particularly hot
twice,
back in
too,
the day.
I
I
think.
mean, he probably still is for like.
He's
a long
actually
dude.
pretty good looking. He's silver fox now, Joe. That's what I hope to
Yeah.
be one day.
And I'm gonna be honest though, looking at him on the cover of this magazine, it's like he's no Matt Damon.
I feel like I'm probably biased because my mom is obsessed with him. Can you zoom in on this scarf? This is the least amount. Like this has to be
That's
fashion.
even worse. That's not
because
even
that's
that's
no
barely a
function.
scarf. Somebody
It's just
rolled a
string.
rope around your
Barely a
neck. It's
scarf.
weird. Look at that.
It's
It's
just-
like
God.
he's either wearing too many scarves or not enough scarf.
He looks like a girl in 2006.
Yes,
But
he
that's
does.
that's so little scarf.
This looks like somebody that he like takes advice from on a daily basis. Said, "Hey, we need less scarf," and he took it literally.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's like,
He
"Oh,
was
so
"Cool, I'll go find
so you want me
30
to have a smaller scarf?" And they're like, "You don't have an accent. Quit talking with an accent.
God bless
You're
him.
not.
No.
You're not British.
This is-
Stop doing that."
This is Andy. That's spot on. Johnny Depp now looks like a guy that talks with an accent, but doesn't have an accent.
I mean, dude, he always does in every interview. He almost talks like he is Jack Sparrow in a way, and it's like you don't. Well, you've been doing this for so long that people just now think that that's kind of how you speak, and I'm
and
not.
it is
having
always
it.
ambiguous because it's not a British accent, it's not an Australian accent, it's not Scottish, it's just some weird
It's some
like, you can't
it's a
pinpoint
mix
it.
mash. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
mix mash.
Harry
Definitely a mixed
Hamlin was the 1987
He was
Sexiest Man Alive.
Really fucking good looking back then, though.
I only know him from
He's
Dancing with
weird
the
as
Stars.
shit. No, he's on whatchamacallit, right? Housewives.
Wasn't he on? Oh, but I don't watch that one.
You don't watch LA or Beverly Hills?
I only watch New Jersey right now.
I think they're the
Wow.
cutest couple on the planet, Lisa Rinna and Harry
Lisa
Hamlin.
Rinna and Harry Hamlin.
Because they're so weird. He's so weird, but he's so endearingly charming. You know,
Oh, yeah. I
like
love
he
him.
is the character he was on Mad Men. Like that's him. He's not playing a character. He's just
Wait, who are you
very
talking about?
eccentrically weird.
Harry Hamlin.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
You know him if you saw him.
Mad Men.
He's been a character for a really long time. He had a bit part on Mad Men for a while where he played one of the bosses. But he was voted back in the day, and man, he was good looking back then. Saw the tan, and he would appreciate his hairline.
Do we want to get to Madeline Stillwell's question? Did I say that name right?
Not
I
even
think
close.
you
It was Melissa Hagler, but
Yeah.
Did I name a celebrity?
I think you did actually. I think Madeline Stillwell. Why does
That sounds like a
familiar?
celebrity.
Is that a politician?
It is definitely an actress. Oh my gosh, it's fucking
Oh no, it's
Karate
a
Kid.
character. Madeline Stillwell's the
Oh,
character
she's the
she plays on
character
the
from
boys.
the boys.
From the boys, yes. No, there's Madeline in the chat and Melissa
Yeah.
Melissa
Madeline
Hagler.
Stanley is in
Madeline
the chat.
Stanley. Okay,
Ah.
yeah. That's what got me really confused. I was like, no, for sure.
Please don't take offense to that, people in chat, because
No.
What's Boys
I-
season 3?
I just get
I was just
names
talking
wrong all the
about that
time.
the other night. Was it with you? Maybe.
I mean, I thought that they finished filming like recently, to where I
Didn't
was
they
like,
film-
ah, shit, this is a while away, huh?
Did they film 3 and 4 back to back?
I don't
Or
think
am I
so.
making that up? Or did they just sign them both at the same time?
They signed them both. I think they finished 3. There's a spin-off being filmed, and they're also shooting this like short series of like news updates that have been releasing the last couple weeks that are really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want, you can write in via Patreon and ask fun questions. This one might be a little bit of a longer question, or it might be a silly little question, depending on how we want to answer it. Melissa Hagler wrote it and said, "What is a weird or funny alternative to war that countries could use to resolve issues?"
Mario Party.
Yes.
Oh my!
That's a great.
I think that
I
would
was
make
gonna say
people.
the
I
same
mean,
thing.
I don't know about that. I feel like that would.
You're right, Andy.
I feel like that's probably a war crime of some sort.
Yeah.
It depends. If Snowbike Mike's playing, then yeah, that's probably going to cause nuclear war.
Yeah.
There.
You know what? A good old fashioned game of hopscotch.
Okay.
I would like a good old fashioned game of hopscotch. Maybe
Is there
Foursquare.
a definitive winner for
Yeah,
hopscotch?
is hopscotch competitive?
Good question.
I want something obscure.
Andy, you're on fire today. God damn.
You know what I was thinking of? I think I definitely was thinking of Foursquare when I said hopscotch. That's
Foursquare, yeah, the Foursquare definitely.
and then I
competitive.
proceeded to then say Foursquare anyway.
God, that was genius. Joey, what do you think?
I want people to compete in competitive curling on like a higher social level.
That's huge.
Like I don't know why this is a sport that has not reached
The mass
like,
market.
Exactly. Just people out there with their little weird rock.
That's gonna be
things,
so
their
tough
little
because
brooms.
Joey, there's gonna be some people who have never like touched ice before that are gonna be in these situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some people who don't have like
You better
winters
train.
with ice. You know?
You better train. You better get out there. You better wax the floor and start going.
Wow. About
I feel
that.
like
Game.
there's probably people
Fuck
that
it.
have never been to war before and they have to figure it out. So
I mean, yeah. What would you rather do?
No.
Really
Andy?
good
You're-
point.
Andy. You're a
really
developing
good
nation.
point.
the same transitive property. Of,
You're a
you
developing
gotta figure
nation,
it out.
and I say you have to go to war against the United States military, or you got to figure out curling. Which one do you figure out?
I mean, we got to import some ice. Let's get
We
it in
gotta slice this
here.
motherfucker. Somebody
Have you guys
polish a
ever-
stone.
Watch competitive cornhole like on ESPN 12 or whatever. Like the really
Yeah,
like one.
can I tell you something about cornhole, Joey?
Yeah,
Never liked it.
really.
Never liked it.
Out of
Yeah.
all those like barbecue tailgate games,
There's always the guy that's too into it when they play the cornhole. And this is a problem I have with the cornhole. If people could just be cool and have a cocktail and throw the thing, but there's always the guy that has to make it a competition, like cornhole is his game. Same with darts. It's like, get out of here. I get it, Eric Hart. You've got long arms.
I
You don't have to
knew
rub
that
it
this
in
was
my
a personal thing.
stupid face that you're better at darts than I am. He's also really good at. He's my good friend, but he's also really good at cornhole.
I knew this was going to be
Before-
some personal thing. Yeah.
Before we get too far from this, we're talking about importing ice and snow, and it reminds me of a story that I haven't thought about in 25 years. But San Francisco doesn't snow here, never does. Up north a little bit in Tahoe, it does. But so you can access snow if you want to get to snow eventually. But like it never snows here, except for the year 1998, when one Tommy Hilfiger partnered with Nintendo for 1080 snowboarding on the Nintendo 64.
Sure he did.
And in Union Square in San Francisco, they built this like, you know how they build those like county fair slides?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those like the really big ones.
It was that. But then they had these like, I don't think they were helicopters. I was too young. I don't even know how to explain what they were, but these like apparatus came in and dropped fake snow. And it was this huge reveal that they dropped snow on the thing and then people would snowboard down it. And then eventually we got to like, the kids got to go on like little like toboggans
Slides.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But the person,
Toboggan, a lot of words.
Excuse me, the people, a lot of words, toboggan,
And
that released the snow were Keenan and Kel standing at the top of the thing, and they literally said, "Let it rain," and then all the snow came, and everyone was confused, like, it's snow, right? Like, we're not like in rain, like, what's going on? And it was a very confusing moment, and then I remember Cal got really flustered. I had to be like, no, it's snow, guys, it's snow, it's not rain, don't worry, it's fake snow, and it would turn into this whole thing, and it was like supposed to be this epic moment. It was just ruined. It was like so not cool.
No.
And then Tommy Hilfiger was just there. Like, why?
Do you think Tommy Hilfiger was pissed off about this sort of partnership? Do you think he was like angry at all that the messaging was mixed?
Honestly, he seemed kind of stoked. Keenan and Kel were having the time of their lives. Like they were young kids at this point. This was peak Keenan and Kel. I still to this day have an autograph from this day from them that's on a shitty photocopied like picture of them that they were just giving out. They didn't even have like real pictures. It was like a black and white picture of them that had been copied way too many times, but their autographs on it.
Wow.
And how much do you think that autograph's worth right now, if you had to guess? Ballpark it for me.
You never know these days, dude.
I mean, Kim doesn't know how much gas
I don't know.
to pump.
Yeah.
Good point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been your podcast for this week. If you are a Patreon supporter of us, hey, stay tuned for our Patreon-only post show. If not, think about subscribing to our channel, leaving a comment in the comments below, or going over to where podcast services are found and giving us a fun rating over there and subscribe to our feeds over there. Because we do a lot of podcasts here. If you didn't know, we do one called In Review. We're working through all of the Spider-Man movies right now. And let me tell you, if you got an extra 4 to 5 hours every week, this one's worth it for you. Because one Anthony Carboni, our special guest, has joined us, and he's just been a dear. He's just been a darling. But hey, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.